think Drake did black Americans a favor. I'm gonna say it again. I think Aubrey Graham Drake did African Americans a favor when he went over to UK. Why? Because he set up a honeypot, if you will. And before I start this, let me go ahead and say, all black people are my people. I am not FBA. I'm not ADOS. I am very much have Pan-Africanist ideals. So all black people are my people. I love all of my people. It doesn't matter whether you're in America, the Caribbean, South America, on the continent, Europe, Middle East, Asia, don't matter where you at. You black, you my peoples. However, if you look at what's going on with Drake, we all know why Drake went to the UK and did what he did. Obviously, he was just bringing Homeboy out to perform. He's putting Homeboy on. Honestly, I feel like it's a little too late if you know the history. We'll get to that. If you look at what happened with Drake and Kendrick and what Drake just did, like, you know what? I know why you did that. Because you're in your feelings. We all know that. You can't hide that. Drake is being a punk because Kendrick embarrassed him. He was not expecting that. He thought that his celebrity would save him. He thought that the fact that he has an exorbitant amount of fans all over the world would save him from Kendrick Lamar. But it didn't, because this is hip hop and we control the culture. And we showed him that, and he does not like that shit. That's why he's running to the UK saying, hey, you know what? The best rappers are from the UK. There's nobody in America that can out-rap UK rappers. That's why he's doing that. He's pumping. He's trying to get people behind him. We know that. However, the reason why he's doing us a favor when he does that is because if you think about the Diaspora Wars, one of the things that started the Diaspora Wars, there was a conversation a long time ago about drill rap from the UK and drill rap from New York. Who did it first and who's copying who? And then it became a whole thing about how black Americans don't really have a culture and how we just steal from other people and that whole deal. And the black Americans was like, no, y'all are just culture vultures. Y'all don't want to give us our props. And that's why we don't like you. We're not elitists. We just don't like you because you're pieces of shit and you're assholes. That's what happened between the two. And it's been a big thing in the diaspora between black Americans who love hip hop and UK, black people who are black in the UK, black UKians or the black British people who also partake and love hip hop. Now, if you put all of that together, if these UK rappers decide in large, and I mean, I'm going to say 50-50, if they go 50-50 and they start backing Drake because Drake validated them, then they are the culture vultures African Americans say that they are. Drake set up a honeypot. If they take the fucking bait, we were right. African Americans were right about black UK people who like hip hop, who indulge in hip hop. That y'all are just culture vultures. I don't want to be right. Again, I have Pan-Africanist ideals. All peoples are my peoples. But we're gonna call a spade a spade. If you're gonna act like a culture vulture and you're gonna be a culture vulture, then that's what you are. You're not a part of the culture. You're just a vulture. You're picking the bones and that's it. You're trying to turn something that's not yours into yours and say that it's yours. You're trying to steal, you're trying to colonize. You're acting like a colonizer. And the funniest thing about this for me is Drake, the same thing that Kendrick called him out for what he did with Atlanta, Drake did that to the UK as well. I saw, I believe, a documentary about this whole deal with UK rappers and Drake, and how Drake went to the UK, bigged them up a little bit, took their sound, ran back to America, made a couple of albums, made hella money off of it, didn't cut them in at all. And then he went back to the UK, he's talking about, oh, y'all are the best rappers, and I aspire to be what y'all are. Oh, you mean the same Drake that was okay with being called the Big Three? If you aspire to be rap like them, why aren't any of them on your top 5? Why aren't any of them on your albums? I'm not gonna count 21 Savage because he himself raps like he's from Atlanta. He raps like an Atlanta rapper. He does not rap like he's from the UK, even though he's from the fucking UK. So he don't count. Why aren't you doing whole albums with them? I guess that's what you're about to do next. Make amends. Maybe that's what you're trying to do, but you already fucked up. So anyway, if they go ahead and back Drake off of this measly ass shout out, then they're culture vultures. Now, I believe every rapper should believe that they're the best at what they do. That's a part of hip hop. You're supposed to believe that as a rapper. You're supposed to have that confidence. It's part of like the allure of being a rapper, having that confidence. I'm the best. I'm the best on the track right now. That's a part of it. You don't need validation even from Americans, honestly. You don't need our validation. But if you have to take the validation of a culture vulture, then you are a culture vulture. Because you're just looking for clout the same way he looked for clout. So again, go ahead and take that if you want to. I don't want to be right. I don't want African Americans to be right. I want us to see that we're stronger together. However, unfortunately, Drake is not like us. Pun intended, he's not like us. He's not. Drake, let me tell this to everybody. Drake is not culturally black. That's what Kendrick said. He was letting us know he's not culturally black. And I mean, he's not culturally black American. He is a Jewish kid who has a black daddy from Canada, from fucking Toronto. He's not hip hop. He came in, he wanted that validation from us. He got it from Wayne, who was at the time considered the best rapper ever. He was going on that run, and now he wanted to be treated like Wayne, but he didn't do what Wayne had to do. And what Drake also doesn't understand is the largest amount of his fan base are not hip hop. They're not black Americans. There are black Americans that love Drake, but the people who control hip hop is us. It's not you. If black Americans say that this is not cool, that's not cool. We're done. Y'all can say, oh, this is what's cool. All the people who love hip hop all over the world can say this and this and this is cool. Black Americans are gonna be like, okay, if you say so, but not really. But the moment it becomes uncool, once we say it's uncool, that shit stops. That's why Drake is hurt, because we said you ain't cool, bro. You're a culture vulture. You act like a culture vulture. You move like a culture vulture. He tried to sue hip hop. Like, not too long ago, I believe Pusha said this, or even Malice, one of them, I can't remember, that hip-hop is one of the last bastions of free speech for African Americans, especially African American males. Anywhere else, we get censored. Drake went to go censor a black American because he didn't like what was said, after he himself did something that was foul too. You called a man a wife beater, then you said his son is not his son. And then you got called a pedophile because it's already known that you like young girls. You like the younger girls. It's already been known. We've been talking about that for a long time. You like young girls, and you have young girls around you, and you got a person who has sex offenses around you. That's the other dude. I don't know, the Baka. Why do you got that guy around you? Anyway, point of the matter. This is not supposed to be about Drake. This is about the UK and their rappers. If the UK and their rappers decide that they are backing Drake, and they decide that Drake speaks for them, then they are what we said they were from the get-go. They are culture vultures. There's nothing else like you're a culture vulture. You're not with the culture. You're not for the culture. You're not building the culture. You're taking from the culture. That's all you doing. I'm not sure, did that explain all the rappers? Every rapper should feel like they're the best. If you're a UK rapper, you should feel like you're better than an American rapper. That's not a problem. The problem is taking the clout from Drake after you know for a fact that he's only saying it because he needs somebody on his side, an outsider. And y'all are outsiders because you're from the UK. Hip hop comes from America. It's an American art form. But go ahead and take his hand. Go ahead if you want to. Then you'll never be mentioned in the same light as Slick Rick the Ruler. Never. Ever. He's not from here. He's a UK rapper. And we call him Slick Rick the Ruler. But black Americans are elitists. And we won't listen to y'all. I don't know, maybe put something up that we would listen to. There are American games with UK rappers on there. And they be killing it. The funny thing is the rapper that he brought out, I like that song. That was one of my favorite songs. I think it was on, I think people said it was on 2K, but I also think it was on It's Shut Down. It was on Tony Hawk. That song was one of the 4 songs I had playing on the new Tony Hawk. Like, I didn't like the rest of the soundtrack. I like that song. But we're elitists. We don't give y'all props. Okay? Take Drake's side if you want to. Okay?